Okay, Jess, imagine this.
I'm already scared.
A homeowner pays over $300,000 to build her dream home. Contracts signed, checks written, promises made.
And
there is no house. No foundation, no framing, no home. Nothing. Just excuses, delays, disappearing contractors, and life savings gone.
this is why we do this show.
Exactly. Today, we're breaking down one of the most shocking homeowner horror stories we've heard. How it happened, the red flags everyone missed, and how stories like this fall into the gray area where people are told, sorry, it's not criminal.
If you're building, remodeling, or even thinking about hiring a contractor, this episode could save you hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Welcome to the Chicks in Construction, where we talk tools, trades, and real stories no one warns homeowners about. Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Chicks in Construction. I am your host, Mikki Paradis, and this is my illustrious co-host.
Hi, I'm Jessica Abreu.
So today we have a story, and I'm gonna say, we've been playing around with whether we should say names. What do you think? Should we say names or should we not say names?
No, never the names.
Well, this isn't something that somebody wrote into us. It was a story that I came across based here in North Carolina in the Charlotte area. And like there's a lot of juice on the intrawebs. So it's not like we'd be the first one naming names. But here's what I will say. What we won't do is name names. But what I will do is let you, the viewer, decide, or listener, depending, if you want to do your own research. Ooh. So if you were to search, let's say, builder fraud in Lincoln County, North Carolina, I feel very, very confident that you would be led exactly to this story today. So
if you want to do your own little black hole.
Yeah, if you want to go down the rabbit hole of what the actual that is a great place to start. So I was watching the Tube.
Always watching the Tube.
I'm always watching the Tube.
You should be watching us on the Tube.
I do watch us on the Tube. And this came across like my feed, and I was like, oh, let me just see. And I'm telling you, I was shooketh. So I did go on a rabbit hole of intrawebs. Deep dive. I literally enlisted many AI agents to help me scour the intranets for all of the shenanigans on this story. Because I genuinely am a little shocked
that this was allowed to happen.
At how bad it was, and that there were absolutely no consequences. And so there's many layers. So we're going to try, we're just going to get into it. We're going to get into it, guys. So so Lincoln County is like closer to Charlotte. So it's kind of in the Charlotte area, like Mecklenburg, Lincoln County are kind of next to each other.
She's saying words like I know what they are, but I don't.
Oh, listen, words, and some numbers. So it's Charlotte is one of the bigger cities in North Carolina, and it starts off with this lady driving like the news crew to this lot where there's this, it's like the foundation is laid, so like the bricks, and then there is just some mild framing, like kind of what they would have laid down for to get ready to start doing the floorboard.
Apocalyptic.
It looked apocalyptic.
It looked like, I don't watch any of those zombie movies or shows because I do love a good zombie moment. I'm scared.
I love to go down the doomsday prepping tunnel. I can get real into it, so I try not to watch.
No, I try not to. No, but that's what it reminded me. I'm like, is this a movie set?
Yeah.
When I first watched.
What's crazy is it was like there was like 16 or 14 lots in this neighborhood, and only a few of them had been built, and the ones that had been finished were finished by other builders. And so even the ones that were done were not finished by the original builder. That kind of is the devil's work. We're just going to say it is the devil's work.
Took the money and run.
They did. They took a crazy amount of money. So the lady who kind of was bringing the most amount of attention to this woman she has the biggest F around and find out energy that I've ever seen. She literally bought the domain name of the woman who sold her the lot
Ooh.
And when you Google this woman's name,
This comes up.
website comes up,
That's-
and it is it's all the receipts. It's all the receipts of everything this woman did.
That's like 50 Cent energy.
Oh, this is giving
Ooh.
50, 100%.
Yes.
50 at a hunch. Like, this woman was like, oh, and the funny thing is, like, she did everything right to a point. But when everything got really bad, she called all the right people, and absolutely nobody was willing to help her. And she was completely scammed out of like $300,000+. And they're not being.
She has no house.
She has no house. A mortgage on a house, like
That's
a
not
full blown
there.
house that is not there, is going to have. I think she actually had to foreclose on it because, like, why would she keep paying into it?
No.
When they're not going to build the house, nobody's going to help her recover the money. And she was just like, fine, foreclose. And so it ruined her credit, took her life savings. So it started with, and this is like kind of just an absolutely wild part of it to me. So it was a husband and wife team. And here's my caveat. I'm not going to say that all husband and wife teams are bad. They're not. But when they're representing more than one piece of the sale, like the wife was the realtor and the husband was the land developer and builder. And I'm going to throw 75 red flags on the play because that is a major conflict of interest. And here's the thing. You as the homeowner wouldn't necessarily see that as a problem, right? Because it's like, oh, a husband and wife team. She's the realtor, he's the builder and the land developer. That makes sense. Keep it in the family. But here's the thing. A realtor that does not have a conflict of interest is going to look out for your best interest.
You need another
They're
real
going to
estate
look
agent.
into things. They're going to look into the builder. They're going to make sure this guy's on the up and up. But if they have a conflict of interest, then they're not going to. And this woman actually, the realtor actually ended up having to surrender her license for only 2 years, by the way, because when she was investigated, they found that she definitely knew that this builder was not completing the lots that he had already closed on. She did not disclose that to the buyer.
Because it's her husband.
Right, 100%. And so the real estate agent commission, whatever, they found her to be liable, but there was no actual financial consequence. I think there was so when she was first investigated, because again, this initial homeowner, she was Becky with the good hair. I mean, she was coming for this couple. She wanted her money back, and she was not going to stop.
So.
100%, 100%. So she goes to the one realtor commission. They investigate her, find that the realtor was in the wrong. Her punishment was a $3,000 fine and a 4-hour ethics class for costing this woman $300,000.
So she would have to sue her personally.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
Oh, no.
Okay. So let's get back to the story.
Okay.
Sorry. Sidetrack, side quest. So the lady finds the land. It's owned by the land development and the building company. Wife is the realtor.
Okay.
She buys the land. And here's another major red flag. And I think this is somewhat common, but I'm going to advise against it regardless. The builder says, hey, we have a relationship with this bank that does construction loans.
No.
Absolutely not, y'all. Absolutely not.
Because that's 3 now.
Oh my God, today. So in that,
Even I know.
even Jess is like flag on the play.
No.
At that point, there is absolutely no one who is an independent party that is looking out for your best interest when you're going with the realtor that's married to the builder and the builder that owns the land and the bank that's in bed with the builder. Who looking out for you?
Yeah,
Nobody.
you should have gotten their own real estate agent, to
But
work
to
with
be
that
fair,
one.
I don't think a lot of people, and listen, they scammed 24 people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they are not in jail, y'all. They are not in jail.
They should be in jail.
They should 100% be in jail. They were investigated and they found to be I think the sheriff's department, and I'm vaguely quoting here, said something out that where this is not a criminal matter, but it is a buyer beware moment. What? What in the, like, who do these people know is the question that I have.
I mean, is their
Hundreds
brother
of thousands
the sheriff
of dollars?
I mean, just the amount of money. If it's over a certain amount of money,
it's
it's
grand
considered
larceny.
Yeah.
Like it, the whole thing.
Oh my God.
Which is why we're talking about it, because this is an outrageous story, and homeowners need to be aware of everything in the story that went wrong. So, lady finds the land, loves the lot. She's going to build her dream home on it. Buys the land from the wife realtor. Goes under contract with the builder / developer. Wires him $158,000 in cash because she was trying to not have that big of a construction loan. So wires, and they did not go into great detail in the new, like any of the reporting that I found about the depth of the contract. And this is again why your builder, realtor, and banker cannot all be in bed together, because a bank is going to heavily scrutinize your contract, because while the bank is looking out for you, the bank is looking out for themselves. They don't want
to lose the money.
So they're going to, like, when we did a renovation for somebody that had to get a bank loan, the amount of hoops that we had to jump through to like meet the terms that the bank was setting was wild.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? Good for them. Like, they should be making general contractors be specific and check up on them, because, you know, general contractors be out here wild in these streets.
That's insane.
So
that's so much money to wire a person.
Yeah. So I don't know the strength of the contract. Obviously, well, I'm not going to say obviously, but
I mean, Monday morning quarterback, don't do this.
Yeah, please don't. Like, do not work with a all-in-one. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, it's easier this way. I get it. And that's the thing where it's like, I don't think the average homeowner would know, like, a buyer beware moment. Because it's like, oh, this is easy. They're going to take care of everything for me. Just press the easy button. Don't press that easy button. You need somebody to be completely separate from all of this. So that, like, an independent third party that's looking at it going, that's weird. So lady wires him $158,000.
Okay.
Nothing happens for 3 months. She gets word that the builder did a draw on her construction loan. So she gets the loan through the bank that he recommends.
Right.
And she gets word after he received the money that he drew another $160-something thousand off the construction loan, putting it to over, like, total amount into over $300,000.
Which is the amount that you would expect to have a whole house built.
An entire house built.
And there's nothing.
Right. And so what's really interesting about that, and like in doing the detailed, like the digging that I did, I was really surprised to find. So when you have a construction loan, the builder does draw from the bank. Right. Now, depending on how you have the contract set up, and listen, y'all, I cannot recommend this enough. Do not have it set up
so that they can just take the money.
They can draw the money. They have to request the draw through you. And here's why. So when I was listening to this, I was immediately thinking, this is the bank's problem. They gave this money. So when you have a construction draw, the bank is required to do an inspection to make sure that the builder is not overdrawing. And
that
like, we have that on our jobs. So like we bill every month. The bank has to come out, make sure that we did the work that we did. And even just as a subcontractor in a large project, we still have to, apply, like, go with this mode. So it's on all construction loans. That's how it's supposed to happen. The bank comes out covering their butts, making sure, okay, yes, the work that they said they've done has been completed. Bank never sent anybody out to investigate, because they had somebody on the inside. And they talked about this in the reporting. This general contractor guy used 2 different banks. The first bank that he worked with, this one woman worked there. And then the second bank that he worked with, she went from that bank to that bank. So it was definitely
a woman.
Yeah, it was a woman. Let me tell you something, like, side note. this guy thinks he's very good looking and he's not. I just want you to know. You know who you are. He's definitely very full of himself. And I was absolutely not. You're gross.
So sleazy. Oh, yeah. And like the sleaziest ones, they're always think that they're just
they're like, oh my God, I'm so pretty. And like, you're not. You're not. Also, go back to up north because that's where he's from.
Hey, us Northerners aren't always that bad.
That's true. Sorry, I got a little Southern there. It just snuck right in. It just snuck right in. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
I do sometimes think that though. It's bad. Especially when somebody has northern plates and I'm like, I can't with you right now. Anyway, I digress. And also that wasn't helpful. I'm sorry. Okay. So this dude has this inside lady at the bank. And I'm thinking the entire time I'm reading and listening and all the things, I'm thinking, okay, well, this is on the bank. Turns out it's not. And this is why it's really important if you're doing a construction loan, you are in charge of approving the builder's draws, because in the fine print of the bank's contract, it states that it's actually the responsibility of the homeowner to make sure that what they're billing is in line with what they have completed. Now, in this case, I don't see how this woman is still liable for this loan because she didn't even get the opportunity to prove it. She didn't find out that it was approved until after he had received the money. But genuinely, she's up a creek without a paddle. Like, because of like how everybody's got their contracts written, she's the one on the hook for all of this. And so that's where, like, because when I was...
So that's why they're saying that it's a buyer beware instead of a criminal thing.
But I'm like, I disagree. I could not disagree more.
There's got to be a lawyer out there somewhere that'll be like, no, we can get you.
100%. 100%. So... That to me was I was listening to the story about how the bank was like, oh no, it's your responsibility. I'm like, what homeowner
knows what to do?
Knows like, oh yes, those windows are worth $16,000, not 25. Like, that is such a level of BS.
I wonder if that bank wrote that way in their contract.
I'm sure that woman
how they're
had
working
something to do with it. Yeah.
And didn't they show like the woman working at the bank, not the one that was the issue, but like this other lady, and she like opened up this folder and was like, there's nothing.
Oh, that was the other GC. We're going to get to that.
Okay.
So
like, all the parts.
I'm telling, and this is where, like, when I was watching this and reading this, I was like, the importance of doing your research before you sign any contract with anybody. And that's really the important piece. Is so many times we get these homeowner horror stories and people come out and they're like, oh, you know, this bad thing happened and then I researched them. And I get it, right? Like, we want to be able to trust people. We want people to be honest with us. We want to give people the benefit of the doubt. But I cannot stress enough the importance of researching every person that you are considering working with before you make a decision. Because you might find things when you do some research that make you decide against using somebody. Maybe their number is the most appealing, but if you were to do a little bit of research, you might find out their number is the most appealing for a reason, because they actually have no plans on finishing your project. And so, you know, sadly, so many people, even after this woman got scammed, again, there's over 24 people.
Can't they all just like come together and like sue him together?
So yes, but there's so many yes buts for this story. So she finds out about this construction loan, which turns out was on her. So again, can't stress enough the importance of one, having your construction loan can only be approved by you. It cannot be the builder communicates directly with the bank and gets their money. You have to approve every dollar. And if the bank's going to put the responsibility on you, then you need to definitely make sure that you have control over that. The other piece of it is, if you're like, because these were new home builds, so it's not like it's a renovation. Which I feel like if you're doing a new home build and you kind of have that level of liability, you also need to have somebody to help you know when somebody does turn in an invoice, okay, this is right. So like a third party person, unless you know, like, I don't know, that might be a stretch. But if you were going to be like super, super safe and it was going to be your responsibility, then I feel like having another person there to be like, yes, this is how much windows cost. Because how would you know?
You don't know.
Yeah. Like, and like I no, like absolutely not.
I feel like you would need like another licensed general contractor to
Right?
like
And like
double check.
GCs are like, I don't have time for
I
that.
don't have time for that.
I'm too
But
busy.
you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the crappy part is where I think that's where the important piece is working with your bank and working with a bank that's like, this is what we do. And we're going to have somebody inspect, because that's the whole point of like the banks having the inspections is they're sending people out there that know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
And they're saying, okay, yes, this draw matches, the materials that are on the job. This draw doesn't. So I really think in that case, obviously you want to have a good realtor, you want to have a good builder, but you also want to make sure that you're making that bank work for you and work for your money. And if they don't do a lot of construction loans, in all likelihood, they're not going to have good inspectors and people that are going to stay on top of every draw. So really investigating the best bank to get your construction loan through, I think is part of the like how you could avoid finding yourself in this situation. She finds out that he did this draw. Meanwhile, at the time of him doing the draw, also having $158,000 of her money, there is nothing done on her lot.
So is she like calling him now at this point?
So she's calling him. She's like, what's going on? He's not communicating with her.
Did she call the realtor?
She did. And she was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't have anything to do with it after
your husband.
Right. After I've sold you the lot. Sorry. So
no one should buy a house from her ever again.
Oh.
Is she still in real estate?
So she had to relinquish her license for only 2 years. So I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up back in real estate. And I wouldn't be surprised if she changes her name again, because she's had multiple names. But you can't change your face. So everybody,
I mean, you could, but it costs a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't think she's got that kind of money. Well, she might.
She might. I mean, she's got all these people's money.
Scammed dozens of people.
Yeah, she might end up with a new face.
Oh God. I mean, she kind of
maybe she should just move to a new state and like stop
scam those people.
Stop scamming the North Carolina people.
I was gonna say something about up north, but then I was like, let me not.
Not.
I've already shown my southernness already today.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about that, guys. So she goes to the builder. She's starting to record everything. She's starting to, because at the time of him having over $300,000 of her money, nothing had been done on her lot. She goes out to her lot. Then they had started doing the foundation, and all they literally had was the cinder blocks and some brick up, and that was it. There was no subfloor, no underground, nothing. So she starts questioning the builder, and I think it's something like 4 months went by and nothing additional had happened. And he's skirting all of her questions and doing the whole like, it'll be fine. We're working on it. You're panicking, calm down, woman thing. And finally, after 4 months, she fired him so that he couldn't take any more money off of the loan.
Yeah. I would also be like, and I want my money back.
Well, so as it would turn out, and this is why doing your research is so important, and not just like a Google search. And because this has happened on more than 3 that I can think of, homeowner horror stories, where they had a previous judgment against them. So I don't know about in every state, but I know in the state of North Carolina, you can search whether someone has a judgment against them, which is a public judgment where basically you have been sued, you were found guilty, and you owe so-and-so X amount of dollars. And that is public record. So like the one case that we had after the guy had screwed her over, she found out that he had a judgment against him to the IRS.
Yes.
And so like this has happened in multiple cases where after the fact, you do the research, you find the judgments. And the sad part about that is, if somebody has a judgment and they've won the judgment before you, it means that absolutely no one else can get paid until they recover their money. So in this case, this guy had an $800,000 judgment against him for
so that's not going to get paid for years.
0%. Like 0%. And he's obviously shady, and he obviously knows how to move money around so that it's not like he's got, all this money he stole from these people. It's not like it's sitting in his bank account. Like he's being shady about it. It's not a situation where that company is just going to recoup all the money he stole from somebody else.
He's got it in an LLC
He's got
somewhere.
it in all kinds of different names and offshore bank accounts. I don't know that. I'm making that up.
He's a sleazeball.
But he's a sleazeball for sure. I'm not making that up.
Nope.
So,
Crazy. So even if she sues him, she's
And
not
that's
going to
the
get
thing.
paid because he has to pay
and the thing
$800,000
about
first.
civil lawsuits is that you can't get blood out of a rock. If somebody is really good at hiding money and hiding assets, which obviously if you're a shady human being, you know how to do this, then they can't, like, we don't have debtor's prison in the United States. You sound like you're going to go to jail for not paying a judgment. You're just going to have that judgment. I mean, he has terrible credit. It's not like he's,
But
opening
he has
an
all
Amex card, but he's got
cash. So
'Cause
much
he's
cash.
scamming the ever living God out of people, and he's got
Because he
all
probably
this
still
cash.
has his company and still allowed to work. Maybe.
So here's the other piece. So the wife was a realtor. He had a land development company. He was working with a licensed general contractor. That licensed general contractor backed out. His name was all over all the permits until all of a sudden it wasn't. Then he started a home building LLC, and he got some, I'm going to say random woman who is not at all a licensed general contractor. And this is a really important point. Technically, she was a licensed general contractor. But I need everybody to understand that the licensing is a test. It's not like the licensing board is like, okay, how many years of construction experience do you have? They don't care. If you pass the test and you don't have like a wild criminal background, you can get your license in North Carolina. Now, not to say that the test isn't hard. It is. We know a lot of people who just can't seem to pass it.
Or quit trying.
Or just stop
got
trying.
the books and we're like, nah, maybe that's too much work. I'm not that smart.
Right. So there's a lot of people who can't even take the test. So I don't want to poo-poo, if you will, on somebody who passed the test. But I have been in construction for 20 years. And there are still projects that I don't feel like I would be qualified to do as a licensed general contractor. That is just reality. Unfortunately, a lot of people go and take the test, they pass, and next thing you know, they're licensed general contractors. This woman that he got to qualify his company as a licensed general contractor, I think they said that she was an insurance agent. So she met this guy because she wrote insurance policies for his other companies. And so somehow
he got her to take a test.
Well, I think she was already a licensed GC.
Okay.
He found out and was like, hey, do you want to be my qualifier? Now, a qualifier is somebody, and again, the nuance here is extreme. When you're looking for a general contractor to build your house or to do your renovation, you want to know that the person who is the license holder actually has experience, because it matters. It matters how many homes someone has completed. It matters how many renovations somebody has completed. It matters how much money they're making. If you're working with the general contractor and they've had losses every year, questions. That should be a little bit of a red flag. So this woman then became, like, the guy that he was working with as a general contractor before seemed pretty legit. Like, So
the first lady, the woman who didn't have her house built, she couldn't go after that general contractor?
No, because technically he never got paid. So she paid
the land developer.
Why
was he drawing from the account, not the general contractor?
Again, like, this is why the whole story is like
wild.
It's wild. Like, there's so many points of failure in this story, and how every single entity is coming back and essentially blaming the homeowner is absolutely wild to me. Yeah. And they didn't just interview one of the homeowners. They interviewed multiple of the homeowners, like having spent hundreds of thousands of dollars that they cannot recoup because absolutely nobody is saying, you know what, this is a crime. And at the very least, like they may not get their money back. Because again, once it's gone, it's gone.
People from doing
it would prevent them from doing it to other people. It would prevent like them taking away this woman's realtor license for 2 years.
Oh, it's like
cry me a river.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah, just nut sauce. So, so the builder, she fires the builder. She starts to find out that, so the general contractor has been changed. He starts another company. And that was the point that I was trying to make is...
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I mean, come on. We do side quests here. It's important to know how many different company names has this person had. And you can do that by going to the North Carolina, at least in our state, going to the Secretary of State and seeing how many companies are in their name. For me, like I own my drywall company. I own a consulting company. I own Chicks in Construction. Like you can go online and see all of the companies that I own because that is public record. And so, sorry.
But something sneaky they can do is you can file an LLC in a different state, even if you don't live there.
Oh, can you?
You can. I don't know how it's legal, but that is I could right now go file an LLC in Wisconsin. I don't know why I picked that. It's just the most random place I could think of.
It's a random place.
Or maybe North Dakota. That might be.
Oh, that's a random place too. Not to hate on you if you're from Wisconsin or North Dakota. It just seems random.
Cold.
It does seem cold also. So, I mean, that's the thing is like, again, you can only do so much research on like protecting yourself. But if somebody has multiple companies like that are in the same industry,
that's a red flag.
It's a red flag, and they've closed. And it's like, and they opened one, they had it for a couple years, they had it for a year, they closed it, they opened another one. I had a painter that would actually do that. It was really shady. I had to end up firing him. He didn't want to pay his taxes. So he kept just closing his company and opening up a new one. And finally I was like, bro, sorry, I don't want this kind of heat. I don't mess with the government. Like, no,
they're gonna come
sir.
after and find their money one way or another.
I'm not going to be on the receiving end of it. But that is it's a red flag. So doing your research and finding out how does this, and I know this sounds like, my God, today, why should I have to do so much research so that you don't end up on the show? So you don't end up on the news. Because this story, it's been going on for years. Like I think it started in like 2019. Oh my God. And the last of reporting was in 2025, where the only thing that had happened was to the wife, to the realtor, because apparently realtors have more strict guidelines and regulations than general contractors, which to me is bananas. So the way it all played out, this dude was so insulated. So his wife was the realtor. She had to turn in her real estate license for 2 years. But because he himself was never the licensed general contractor, there was nothing that the licensing board could do to him other than, I think for one of the companies that he started where he got that second, the Lady GC, they obviously revoked their general contractor's license. Well, I think not even they revoked it. I think she removed herself from their company as their qualifier. So now they're no longer licensed.
Yeah. So because he was never really licensed, it's nothing.
And
nothing happens.
That is the tricky part. When you're dealing with somebody who is licensed and they mess up, there are some things that can be done. But when it comes to just stealing money, like the licensing board is like, if you build it wrong, we'll step in and try to help you. But if they just took your money, like that's a criminal matter. So she goes to the sheriff's department, tries to get them to investigate. They say it's not a criminal matter. They literally said something along the lines of, this is more an issue of consumers needing to, be more careful with. And I'm just like, what?
It's got to be his brother.
I don't even know. So
he's paying off the sheriff too.
Here's what is wild too. And, so this is when Josh Stein was the attorney general. He's now the governor. She filed to me, this blows my mind. I kind of like lost a little bit of faith in like our like the consumer protections. She files a complaint against this dude with the North Carolina Attorney General Consumer Protection Division. They investigate it, and I'm right hand to God, because the guy did not respond to the complaint, they dropped the complaint.
Wait, wouldn't that
be even more reason to investigate?
Wouldn't that prove guilt,
right?
Not innocence? Like if I'm innocent, I'm going to respond.
Clearly, this dude knows how the system works because can you imagine? Okay. Could you imagine
so you don't
getting a letter from the North Carolina Attorney General's office? If you're on the up and up and you get that letter,
immediately
you're
going
in a full blown panic. I have to defend myself. Like I've got to, I have to explain the situation. But if you a shady shader, you're just like,
toss in the recycle bin.
Let me put that in the circular filing cabinet. And I just could not believe it. We're talking about $300,000+. And because he didn't respond, they just dropped the investigation. And this news crew went so far as to confront Josh Stein at an event when he was running for governor.
And what did he say?
They showed up. He literally said, we can't sue all the people that file complaints with us. And I'm like, can't you?
Really? Isn't that your job?
And I get what they're saying, because he said something like they get 16 to 20,000 complaints a year, and they obviously don't have the capacity to sue everybody.
A certain dollar amount. I feel like
and the fact that it wasn't just one person. Like there were multiple, and that's I think what this homeowner is doing now is she is working on getting all of the people affected so that it can be like a class action situation. But at the end of the day, it needs to be a criminal issue because there's no money for them to get. Now, this reporter showed up at Homeboy's house.
Ooh.
And does
he have a nice house?
It was an okay house, but he had one of those Super Duty trucks on the monster wheels.
Oh.
I'm like, take that right there. that suspension alone is like $50,000.
Yeah, there's like at least 200, right?
Yeah, it was insane. And so there's so much to the story that is just
anytime
devastating.
I see those trucks, I'm like, Napoleon complex.
Yeah, you're like,
overcompensating for something.
We see a lot of those trucks in construction, and I'm just like, cool. Now we know what you're packing.
Or not.
So again, guys, you can obviously, this story is all over the internet. There is the wife's name. The woman bought her domain name and literally has a website. It has a pop-up. When you click on the link, it has a pop-up that says, stop, have you been scammed by this woman? Like, this woman did not spend small amounts of money for this website. It is on a rinky-dink website. She spent money putting this website together. So, the receipts, and literally the receipts are there. Like, she posted, because I guess during one of the investigations was during COVID, and so they did it virtually, and so she had the recording, and she posted the recording.
I love it. It's so much 50-cent energy.
It is so 50. It is so 50.
You have to check it out.
Yeah. So I do highly recommend that everybody go look it up. But the key takeaways are: do not allow your realtor, your builder, the land developer, and the bank to all be in cahoots. Have a separate realtor. And we've talked about this when we had a realtor on the show in the very beginning. The importance of that separation of having somebody who is legally obligated to represent you. And to be fair, this woman, regardless, was legally obligated, but it doesn't mean that they're going to follow that. So making sure that your realtor is separate, that they're working for you, that they don't have any skin in the game anywhere else.
Nope.
Absolutely not. Your land developer should not be, or your builder should not be recommending. Like, they can give you like, oh, we've worked with these banks before and they're great, but still that is just a recommendation. Like, your bank should be your choice, and that bank that you're choosing that's going to give you that construction loan should be completely independent, should be working for you.
They should be doing the inspections.
They should
to making sure that
absolutely
your
be doing
money
the
is not
inspections. And
just
you
going out
have
the
to
door.
make sure that you're reading the contract with them from the lens of, if this goes wrong, what responsibility does the bank have? And that's the piece that I don't think this woman was thinking about when she set everything up, when she signed this loan agreement, because the bank had wording in there to protect themselves from the builder drawing money that they hadn't done anything for. Like, it was, one of them was like $16,000 for custom windows. There wasn't a window in the, and this was another person. They had framed it, and it was just sitting there, and it was like $16,000 for custom windows. There were no windows, which honestly, $16,000 is not enough for custom windows. So I'm just like, what was this amount of money? And they even tracked down the order to the supply company, and it was never filled. So like, just shady shenanigans. I think doing your own, like doing a lot of research, especially for something as like building a house, making sure that work has been done, is really important. Keeping them separate, covering your butt, and making sure that nobody can get money out of your construction loan without your approval. And if you don't feel comfortable taking on that role of saying, yes, this amount of work has been done, finding somebody who can help you with that. I'm trying to think of like who that would be.
To help with it.
You know who I think would be a good place, a resource to ask is your bank. I would ask your bank, hey, listen, I want to make sure that these draws, if you're not going to do these hardcore inspections, who can I use that will?
Yeah, they probably have some.
I would assume that, unless they're shady. And so that's a red flag to me. If the bank isn't like, yes, we're going to inspect these draws and make sure that they're solidly drawing what they need, then that's a little bit of a red flag.
Yeah. What about a real estate agent? Like if they were,
I think a real estate agent would be able to look at it and give you a gist. Like they'd be able to look at it and be like, okay, well, yeah, a subfloor costs roughly this much. Foundation roughly costs this much. So they would be able to look at it maybe. That's a good question for a real estate. We can ask some of our past real estate agents, because we have a couple.
Figure it out.
So guys, again, I cannot stress enough. Like, the craziest part of this story is this woman has not been able to recover any of her money. None of the people involved in the story have. And we're talking about hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars. There have been no criminal actions taken against this company or this man. The slap on the wrist for the wife was she had to voluntarily turn in her realtors. Like, absolutely crazy. So cannot stress enough. Do your research before you decide on a builder. Research judgments, because really at the end of the day, the fact that guy already had a judgment against him is what's keeping her from being able to get her money back. If he can't pay the $800,000, he's certainly not going to be able to pay her back. And because that judgment has to be paid before her judgment, it's not even like they can garnish his wages or like take any if he had a tax return, because that can happen.
Right.
Like if you have a judgment against you and the federal government is aware of it, if you do get a tax return, it will just get automatically sent to whoever has the judgment against you.
As it should.
I
feel like it should just, you should not get a single penny.
Yeah. And so, but again, if the only means of him paying that back is the government seizing funds, he's smart enough to know to not put things in his name, 100%. So if she had known before signing that and sending him $158,000 that he had an $800,000 judgment against him,
it'd be a hard no.
It would have been a hard no. So that's where like doing your research and making sure that before you go with a builder, like you have gone girled him. I'm talking, you got on that internet and went deep. Like, everybody has that friend. Everybody has that friend.
Oh, yes.
I have that friend. Like whenever I need to know, I'm like, hey friend, I need to know everything about so-and-so. And they're like, give me 5 minutes. And I'm getting texts in my face. Like they're just like, boo, 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 here's screenshots. That friend. If you don't have the capacity to like do the dirty dirt on a builder, find the friend. We all know who she is. And it is a woman. It is a woman.
It's always
because
a woman.
We know how to find shit on
everything.
The internet. These are facts. With that being said, I will say, when you post nasty comments on our channel, first of all, thank you, because it does help the algorithm. But second of all, You know we can click on the link and see who you are, right? Hold on.
Because we saw.
Take a sip of my tea real quick. I just did want to make sure that you all know that as you go to write out your nasty comment. Listen, we appreciate the engagement. We'll take what we can get. If all you can post is something nasty, that's fine. But just know that it won't be that hard to find out where you work. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. You know, you might want to think before you type, or don't. Your choice. Dealer's choice. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't do enough of a deep dive, and that's how so many people ended up really screwed out of this whole situation. Half of the people that did buy lots from this guy had to hire another builder to finish the house. And that is because they had the capacity to do it. They had the capacity to take a $200,000 loss
and still
build and still finish the house. This woman didn't.
No.
So last I checked, she was receiving foreclosure letters on the lot because there was no house on it. House. And here's the thing for the bank. That's a $300,000 loss for them because the lot's not worth that much. There's nothing on the property that's going to increase the value.
And who wants to buy it now? It's like,
it has to be demolished. It's been sitting out in the elements for so long that it's not structurally sound anymore.
Would you really want to live somewhere that somebody had such a horrible experience? I feel like there's bad. Yeah. All bad vibes. Wouldn't want to live there.
We don't want bad vibes. No. Not up in here. So guys, do your research. Can't stress that enough. And listen, don't be a statistic. I don't know where that came from. But
the more you know.
The more you know. Da, 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 da. All right. So with that said, we're going to wrap it. You can obviously, if you have a similar story, we would love to shine some light on that. So please, if you have a homeowner horror story, go to chicksandconstruction.com. Leave us a little clicky clack. We will respond to you as best we can. Try to at least give us an email that if we have questions, we can respond back to you. I would say don't be weird, but I feel like you guys are going to do what you want. So I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. Just know if you get weird, I can get weird too. I'm just saying. Do what you want with that. All right. Jess, where can they find us on the socials?
Yes, on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook, it's at Chicks and Construction Podcast. And on TikTok, it's at Chicks and Construction.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.